naturally brewed from our own fresh spring water, this beer embodies the greatness of the mountains of South Africa. At Saggy Stone, we take pride in our pure ingredients, our meticulous methods, and our quality products. Rocky River is a crisp, light, easy-drinking beer, perfect with friends after a long, hard day. Saggy Stone, great mountain water, makes great beer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this historical day down here at Brookside right next to, on the foot of Table Mountain, with an amazing backdrop. Beautiful day here for rugby, and for this, like I said, historical day, the very first matchup between Hamiltons and Villagers for the 2022 season. This, of course, only friendlies for now before this league starts in a couple of weeks' time. This, of course, a very historical day and a historical derby match up between Hamiltons and Villagers. The very first rugby match between these two teams played in 1878. The most recent matchup, of course, last year between these two teams. The winners and victors of that matchup was Hamiltons with a scoreline of 39-13 last year, 2021. A big honor for me to be next to the field, and as you can hear and see, the crowd is starting to come in and started to get in on the action. And a privilege for me to welcome Heinrich, fellow commentator, for this day.
Thank you, Mike. What an honor to be here at one of the oldest derby game in South Africa, between these two oldest clubs that is representing the Western Province Union. And what a lovely day with the crowd getting back into the stadium after the restrictions has been lifted a bit. But yeah, what a day that's lying ahead.
Yes, most definitely, Heinrich, and thank you very much. And once again, welcome. As we look at the team sheet for this week, we're starting with the host team, of course, being Villagers Rugby Football Club. As we run through the starting line-up, the loose head prop, Ibrahim Davids, hooker Dion Lawrence, and Kyle Beckley will take the tight head position. Ryan Flores and David Omalua will be the lock pair. And then the flanks will be Vincent de Munich, also the captain for the day, and Takir Bay, as well as the eighth man for the day is Leleli Busakewe. Then we look at the backs. The scrum half will be Joshua Fisagi. Fly half taking position would be Raiden Smith, Shaheen Hendricks, Aaron Beekes, Ronald Nadiru, as well as Tanaka Bosho and Chadwin Nicholas making up the back line. Heinrich, a couple of names standing out there in the Villagers team. Who should we keep an eye out for?
Mike, surely I think the whole pack is crucial during this game, because against Hamiltons you can't be on the back foot from the kickoff. So I think the whole front row and as well as the first eight is most important, and then also the fly off and the scrum off to get the balls to the back.
100% couldn't agree with you more. As we look at the visiting team sheet, Hamiltons, of course, today. The loosehead prop, Devin Martinez. Hooker is Aubrey Kutsia, also one of the captains for today, as well as Vandrey Norkia. Then the locks would be Akolile Apeleni as well as Hanlu Kotze. Then your flank forwards is Dean Basson and Petrus Nienaber, and your 8-man Henku Martinez. Then looking at the back line, your co-captain for the day is Clinton Harps, Christian Zietsman on fly half, Yazid Karim on left wing, then Wensley Scott and Marlu Weich making up your centre combination. The right winger is Ramiz Ali, and a full-back packing down right at the back is Jacqueline Moses. Heinrich, any key players that we need to keep an eye out for there?
Mike, yes. We all know Devin Martinez is an old campaigner. He used to play for the Lions and a stint at Griquas as well, and for the SA under-20s when he was younger. And also the flankers and the 8-man will be quite busy today. But I think the man to look out is the number 13, the centre, Marlu.
Yeah, like you said, a man with lots of experience packing down on the loosehead prop, Devin Martinez, but also the likes of Marlu Weich, having to keep an eye out for him today in this historical matchup. As I said, Villagers Rugby Club will look to settle the score since they went on 39-13 in last year's battle and clash there at Greenpoint. This year, playing down here at Village, like I said, on the foot of Table Mountain, a historical field here. Villagers established 1876, and this battle is definitely the oldest and biggest battle in club rugby in South Africa. This will be mouth-watering stuff.
Naturally brewed from our own fresh spring water, this beer embodies the greatness of the mountains of South Africa. At Saggy Stone, we take pride in our pure ingredients, our meticulous methods, and our quality products. Rocky River is a crisp, light, easy drinking beer, perfect with friends after a long, hard day. Saggy Stone, great mountain water, makes great beer.
And we welcoming the visitors for this day on the field, the team of Hamiltons, led of course by the hooker Aubrey Kutsia, and co-captained by the scrum half Clinton Harps. And Heinrich, this is a day certainly for us as spectators and lovers of the game. It is beautiful and so nice to see almost close to capacity Villagers here. Well, I say close to capacity, but it always looks like there's so many crowd and spectators here due to the fact that the stands are right on top of the field.
Yeah, it's awesome to be so close to the game. It almost feels like you're part of the game the whole time. And the crowd is quite noisy as they are ready to enjoy this game, seeing that it is the last friendly before the league starts next weekend. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen and how the crowd's going to get involved here today.
A bit of mind games being played here by Villagers as they keep the team of Hamiltons waiting on the field. Kickoff, of course, is at 4 o'clock. So if you just joined us on YouTube, welcome for this historical event right here at Brookside, the home ground of Villagers Rugby Club. Of course, like we said, the oldest and biggest rivalry in the Western Cape and certainly in South African club rugby. These two teams, of course, first match was played way back in 1878, and the most recent one, as I said, was only last year, as we see Villagers taking the field, and they'll certainly look to settle the score because last year they went down 39-13 in the matchup of 2021. This year, of course, before the season starts, getting in a couple of friendlies. Heinrich, how vital are these friendlies, and is this Classic Clash seen as a friendly?
Mike, just what I wanted to add. Nothing can be seen as a friendly between these two clubs. Seeing the history that's been built up over the years, the one team will always like to get the hand over the other one as good preparation for the new season.
100% as we see the fly half, Christian Zitzman getting ready to start this Classic Clash between Villagers and Hamiltons, the home side being Villagers playing left to right as we stand, dressed in white, and then the Hamiltons in their historical colours, red, black and yellow. This is, like I said, gearing up to be a solid matchup between these two teams. Both teams boasting with a couple of big names, as you heard earlier, the likes of Devin Martinez as well as Marlo Weich from Hamilton's side as we starting this class. Villagers unfortunately not being able to control the ball from the kickoff, being placed under enormous pressure by Hamiltons. As we've seen throughout a couple of these friendly matches, Hamilton certainly priding themselves on their defensive structures, and Villagers showing that they would love to throw the ball around throughout their friendly clashes. Heinrich, a bit of early pre-match jitters there coming in. Unfortunately, the ball not being, unfortunately, ball being knocked on by one of the Hamilton players there. Thus, giving Villagers the ball to start off. Solid starting first ball phase. As we see a lot of pressure being placed by Hamiltons on the front row of Villagers, but illegally going up in the process. That is a mouth-watering battle up front, Heinrich.
Straight up.
Yeah, quite a good start by Villagers in the scrum, putting the pressure on Hamilton. So yeah, always good to get that first penalty.
Yeah, the Village front row will say it's 1-0 in their favour so far. And after 1 minute, the scoreline still reads 0-0. And Heinrich, do you see this going down to the wire? Or do you think that one team will, at the end of the day, be a lot stronger than the other?
Mike, we all think Hamilton's is the favourite as they go going into this game. But like I said, at the end of the day, the ball will always bounce in a wrong different way, so you never know.
A big pick-up and drive by the sixth flanker there of Village. Vincent de Munich, also captain for the day. Unfortunately, in the process, just not managing to keep the ball in hand. And that will be vital to retain possession of the ball. As we know, you can only play when you have the ball in hand. But Vincent de Munich certainly showing his intent early in this game.
Right, looks. Michael, boys, Michael. Crouch. Bind. Sit. Steady. No. He's going up now. Let's reset.
And as we mentioned, Heinrich, it is a big pressure point and a focus point between these two teams, certainly priding themselves on both their forward packs. A couple of big boys packing down there, and like I said, this is a battle going down to the wire in terms of the full 80 minutes, but certainly one of the battles in this war would be up front, and the likes of the loosehead prop Devin Martinez with a lot of experience coming into this game.
Yeah, experience is always good to have, but form is also a very, very important part of the game.
Beautiful scrum there by Hamiltons as they provide their backline with beautiful solid ball down the touchline. Unfortunately, just in a hurry to get the ball away. And like we said, to retain possession and keep the ball in hand is vital in this game, especially in this type of classic clash. It's a big matchup, and you got to take hold and grab every opportunity that you get. Heinrich, with your experience as a referee as well, big pressure on Kwesi, the man in the middle today. sporting the bright orange neon, well, I said orange neon colors of our insurance referee today. What is the type of pressure on a referee in a game like this?
Kwesi is one of the most senior guys in Western Province Rugby Referee Union, but the big man, it's quite important to be fit and you know your laws. Like I said, but Kwesi is so senior that he will handle this game closed eyes, my friend.
Solid ball, won there by Village on their own scrum. Kicked through by the fly half, and Raiden Smith beautifully kicked there, right on the touchline, finding touch with centimeters there, and putting his team on the front foot, attacking position right on the 10-meter line inside the half of Hamilton's. And at this stage, Hamilton showing good composure on defense, but the game must be said at this early stages of the game, a lot of stop-start as both these two teams are trying to find their rhythm. Like I said, this matchup, a very important matchup, of course, before the league starts here in the Western Cape as well. So both these teams will look to set their structures and foundations as Village wins the ball, being taken up by the hooker, Dion Lawrence. Now into the hands of the loosehead prop, Davids, gaining valuable yards. Beautiful break there, but unfortunately brought down by beautiful defense and not being able to get the pass away.
Hold.
Hamilton's now in possession of the ball, trying to get out of their 22. Beautiful pass. Fly off of Hamilton's. Christian Zitzman has play is being taken and brought back halfway. Bit of a show and go there by the locker Hanlu Kotze. It seems like they're being driven back. And in the process, Village getting themselves back in possession of the ball, winning them a scrum, and in a good position here to play some attacking rugby. Is this where you try and keep ball and make yards, or with the foot of the likes of Raiden Smith, fly off of Village, do you think he'll try and make Hamilton's turn around and pin them down within their 22?
Definitely, to always get into your opponent's half first is very important, and then you can work from there and try to set up the faces and get the backlines through the gaps and try and go and score the points.
Solid scrum there by Village as Hamilton's puts them under enormous pressure. Zitzman now into the outside flanker. Unfortunately, bad pass being thrown away into the hands of the right winger Tanaka Bosha. Being brought down to ground now as they try and secure. It is the captain Vincent de Munich trying to break down the blind side, being brought down to ground. Joshua Fisari taking his time. But a big hit on the loose head prop, Ibrahim Davids, as Hamilton's win back the possession by beautiful defense right on the foot, making Village turn around, putting the fullback Chadwin Nicholas under enormous pressure, dots it down, and a beautiful kick spotted there, or gap spotted by Zitzman, putting Village back in their 22, but a quick retake and a restart by Village, trying to catch Hamilton's defense off guards. But a slow ball coming out for Hamilton's, taken up by flank forward Dean Basson, another name to remember and keep an eye out for. Now taken up by the forwards Petrus Ninaber, just retaining position, playing back to the left hand side. Dion Basson taken up, but again big hits coming in from the likes of Villagers, winning themselves a penalty in the process. Heinrich, a couple of big hits early in this game we've already seen.
Yes, what a huge hit by the captain there on Hamilton's, getting them the penalty to get back into their opposition half.
Unfortunately, it looked like he was not about to find touch, but as I said, bounce of the ball and a touch of the fingertips, unfortunately not being able to bring that ball down. But a lucky break there by Villagers, and again Hamilton's back in their own half. And after 10 minutes, it seems like Villagers is trying to pin down and frustrate the defensive lines and structure Hamiltons. Dion Lawrence finding David Omalua, but turnover ball by Hamilton's flanker Petrus Nienaber, making a nuisance of himself in this defensive structure of Hamilton's. Brought under control by Zitzman. Now the ball's being put on boot. But a good positional play by Chadwin Nichols, but unfortunately not being able, as I was about to compliment his positional play, just not being able. Quick throw in by Hamilton's, or at least tried to get away with that, but it was in front of the mark, as I was informed here by my co-commentator Heinrich, being a referee himself. Heinrich, thus far, after 10 minutes, what do you think? A lot of stop-start, like I said, and the game not getting off the mark. Promising defensive structures by both these two teams.
Solid defense from both teams. Like I said, pre-season friendly, last game before the league starts next week. A couple of loose ends that they want to fix.
Taken up by the lock forward Hanlu Kotze, being driven back in contact by Village. Hamilton's trying to set up the phases now, taken up by captain for the day, Aubrey Kutsia. Zitzman, beautiful handling skills by Hamilton's into the hands of Yazid Karim, being bundled and driven into the touchline. Village now being pinned down for a couple of minutes and phases in their own half and in their 22 right now. But thus far throughout this game, shown good composure on defense and got themselves out of their own 22 without too much hassle from Hamilton's. Dion Lawrence, see if he can find his jumper to secure the ball. Omalua, third time that he's been the recipient in the lineouts, as it's taken up by Vincent de Munich. Trying to get away through a relief kick straight down the throat of dangerous Yazid Karim, as he plays the fullback for the day, Jacquin Moses. And Zitzman already making a nuisance of himself in this game and showing that he's a fly half that wants to dictate the game. Christian Zitzman, flanker, we've mentioned him a couple of times in the first 10 minutes. Petrus Nienaber taking it up. Beautiful handling skills by Hamilton, showing good composure, not trying to force the offload. Bit of an indication of a sniping break there by Clinton Harps, as he's just trying to keep Village on the tip of their toes. Beautiful handling into the hands of the right winger, Ramiz Ali, as he's showing some pace down the right-hand side. Now Hamilton's in a dangerous position. Village will need to show composure and not giving away a penalty, as we see a pick up and drive there by the forwards. Referee will bring them back down 5 yards from the Village touchline.
Can't keep pushing it.
Penalty because of Villages not rolling away, as we see a quick tap and go, bringing Hamilton's first team to score through the likes of, it seems like it is the lock forward Atolile Apeleni who put his name on the score sheet. Hamilton's, after being placed under enormous pressure throughout the first couple of minutes in this matchup. And this shows the quality team that they are. They showed composure, and they weren't too rushed, making sure that they don't force the offloads, but just catching the Village defensive structures there off guards with a quick tap and go. Taking the scoreline now to 5-0 in favor of Hamilton's.
Thanks.
Zitzman taking his time with this kick, but unfortunately just missed out on the conversion kick. The scoreline stays 5-0 in favor of Hamilton's after 13 minutes of this classic matchup, an historical derby between Villages and Hamiltons here in Brookside.
If the ball goes out and then they stand.
It's the outside centre of Villages. Ronald Ndura that will restart after a try being scored by Hamiltons. If you just joined us, welcome. Scoreline 5-0 in favour of Hamiltons. Deep restart by Odura. Immediately Hamiltons with a relief kick. Not the longest and biggest of kicks, but just relieving a bit of pressure from their own 22. And Hamilton's immediately back, obviously after the restart in their own 22. But Heinrich, we've seen Villages put a lot of pressure on Hamilton's, pinning them down within their own half throughout majority of the time that is surpassed. But Hamilton's with the first sniff that they get on the scoreboard.
Like a good quick hands that was thrown there by Marlo to his winger that set up the whole play, and then the penalty resulted into that quick tap and scoring.
Beautiful pick up there by the scrum of Joshua Fisagi. Unfortunately, it is the likes of Omalua being brought back by the referee. Unfortunately, Villages just knocking it on. Bit of eagerness there by them, over eagerness in fact.
There's Michael. There's Mark.
David Omalua, the lock forward of Villages, still a young player, Heinrich. And both these two teams with a good combination of experience as well as the youth in their teams.
It's always nice to have that mixture of youth and experience.
Crouch,
The young guys bringing in the play and the eagerness to play, and then always that just the calmness that the senior players bring into the game.
Yeah, we also see the likes of Joshua Fisagi on the Villages side being brought to fly off, as we see Raiden Smith has left the field. The replacement scrum of Robin Damon being brought on the field. Immediately getting his part of the action with a beautiful kick and just dotting down within the field. Beautiful kick, and again putting the pressure on Hamilton with one half.
Happy? Let's make a marker.
A lot of pressure on Aubrey Kutsia now to make sure that he finds his jumper. We saw a line out earlier in similar position where he has thrown over, gifting Villages position and putting his team under enormous pressure. So let's see if he can find his jumper this time. A lot of movement in the line out. Beautiful take by 8th man Henku Martens. Some decisive running there, trying to do a bit of a dummy. Everything once. Ball being brought back to the left-hand side now with room to move. Beautiful sidestep by the outside centre of Hamilton's. Beautiful pass into the hands of Martins, finding himself without any support from his teammates now. Beautiful counter ruck by just slowing the ball down, making sure that his teammates can get themselves under with the defensive lines into the hands of Nino, but once again taking it up. Zitzman with a cross kick. Let's see if he can find his teammates. Beautiful pinpoint, but beautifully showed composure by Village to bring back the ball. The referee will bring them back. Looks like a penalty for Hamiltons, as we see one of the players, indeed the fullback Chadwin Nichols, receiving some attention. And it is a penalty to Hamiltons, but a beautiful break there by outside centre, or in actual fact inside centre, Wensley Scott, putting his way his teammate. Hamilton's opting to go for the line out, 5 meters from the try line of Villages. And we've seen earlier that when Hamilton's gets the opportunity and gets that sniff of the try line,
So if you want to make them up, make them up.
they score, trying to put a lot of pressure on the defensive structure of Villages.
let's go.
Caught them off guards earlier for the first try through the likes of the lock forward Akolile Apeleni. The scoreline now 5-0 in favour of visitors Hamilton as they put up a drive. Villagers through some beautiful counter-rucking, winning a penalty, but it is obstruction by the Hamiltons forward pack in the process.
15.
Just a bit of eagerness, and this is the time or the sort of pre-season jitters that Hamiltons would try to work out in friendlies like this. Again, placing the emphasis on this is only a friendly matchup, but between these two teams, never such a thing as a friendly, as a big rivalry between these two teams. Last year, of course, as I said, Hamiltons being the victors of the matchup between these two, Villagers going down 39-13 last year in the most recent meeting between these two teams. A matchup that has been, we've seen a lot of stop-start thus far as Village secure position in that line-out. A wild pass being thrown by the reserve scrum of Robin Damon.
And out.
Setting up another phase midfield. Now Robin bringing it back. Beautiful wide pass flung, but unfortunately the hooker Dion Lawrence not managing to get the pass, taking it up and setting up yet another phase. This is an important build-up for Village, as unfortunately Village is not securing the ball in the ruck. Hamiltons with a beautiful counter ruck.
There it is.
If we have a turnover ball, there's numbers out on the right. If they can secure quick ball needs to be spread now. Unfortunately, taking his eye off the ball is outside and center Marlu. But promising position and quality position of ball Hamiltons has seen in the past couple of minutes.
Yeah, unfortunately, ball couldn't go to hand there to Marlu with that unforced error. But like I said, promising when the ball gets spread through the back line. With a few forwards also putting their hand up there as inside centers.
Yeah, that's a favourable position for the forwards and the big heavies finding themselves in the back line. I know a lot of big prop forwards that would pride themselves on the skill and quality of handling that they boast of, but I think in a matchup like this, sometimes the importance of just falling in behind the back line, and there's a lot of backs that will agree with me here, just falling in behind the back line so that the ball can be spread. Hamilton's in the process winning themselves a penalty. One of the prop forwards just putting his knee on the ground there. That's evident of a lot of pressure on each other there in the front line and the front row. Immediately Zitzman showing his intent, wanting to pin Villagers down in their own half, and it's kind of a first half
if I shot used, that means that you've broken away, okay? So that was
because
the
in the
last
early
one there.
stages, Villagers coming out of the gates with a lot of pressure on Hamiltons, pinning them down in their own half. But it seems like the momentum of the game has shifted. Hamilton's now starting to set up camp in the half of Village.
Fortunately, they couldn't use their opportunities first in the first 20 minutes. But yeah, like I said, if you have to use your opportunities if you want a game.
Talking about opportunities, Hamilton's not being able to win their own line-out. Just not being sure of the call in the line-out there. A lot of movement in the line-outs. And Heinrich, sometimes it is important just to stick to the basics, going up front on a 2-ball, securing the ball, setting up the drive, and sometimes that's a mistake we as forwards make, trying to be too fancy in the line-out, so to speak, and sometimes everybody not sure about the call. Overthrow in the line-out, as you said, gifting Hamilton's position again. The tight head prop, Vandre Norkia pinning down his ears, borrowing forward. Another phase being set up, but Villagers making it difficult and giving Hamilton's a slow ball. Beautiful defense by Villagers, stopping that advantage. Beautiful inside ball being played.
Yeah, no advantage, guys.
The referee will bring them back.
That's a dangerous tackle here.
And Clinton Harps definitely not having an easy day at the rucks. The scrum of Hamilton's Villagers with a quick tap, but not from the mark. The referee will bring them back.
On the line, guys, on the line, on the line.
And as I said, Villagers being pinned down in their own half, and now in actual fact, their own 22. Harps with a quick tap into the hands of Lineout, taking it up, but beautiful defense by Villagers. Again, slow ball when they need a quick ball. Beautiful running line by outside center Manu, taken up into contact. Finding Norkia once again.
Wait, out 5. Wait.
Harps with yet another slow ball and a bad pass by the flank forward Dean Basson into the hands of his fly-half Christian Zitzman.
Over.
And now onto the boot goes Robin Damon, making Hamilton's turn around and having to fight their way back into the half. Beautiful defense and a lot of pressure on that kick. Not the best of kicks, but a lot of pressure on that kick as Hamilton's is brushing off the defenders, breaking 2 tackles there. Harps now going down the right-hand side, and unfortunately, just again, once again, taking their eye off the ball and knocking it on. But some promising attacking play by the 8th man, Hinku Martins, as he brushed off the defenders of Villagers. It is indeed in the process still advantage being played to Hamiltons as they get yet another penalty. Unfortunately, Zitzman not finding a lot of meters on that kick. Taking play to the 10-meter line inside the half of Villagers. We've got about 15 minutes left in this first half. The scoreline still 5-0 Heinrich. The first half with a lot of stop-starting, and both these two teams struggling to get off the mark. Yet another slow ball from the ground. Villagers currently in position. Damon into the hands of the flanker Takir Bey.
That's ripped.
But beautiful, ripped into the contact by Hamiltons, into the hands of left winger Yasid Karim, being placed under enormous pressure, but again being brushed off the defenders by the outside centre, likes of Weich. And Hamilton's a lot of strong runners in contact. Turnover ball to Villagers, yet again play being stopped by a handling error. And Heinrich, it seems to be the story of the first half. Just as we see a bit of momentum being built up by the teams, a handling error creeps in. Is that evidence of that pre-season rust being played off still?
I would surely hope not so, because this time of season you have to get your combinations ready for next week. Because if you haven't got it right now, there's going to be a difficult season lying ahead for you.
Sorry, please, scrum time.
Both these teams looking to build momentum
So the
pre-season.
picture that I've got is I'm happy with the contest.
As we see
And then what's happening is
the
that you guys
packs
are starting, but
of
the ball is out.
Hamiltons,
So I can't bring you
just
guys back
making
for
sure
that,
that
but
they
certainly
get
I'm
together, that the
watching that.
message is being spread across,
Starting to get to me a little.
Yeah, cool.
making sure that everybody understands the mission of
Yeah,
today.
forward pass. No, extra fit, man.
Oh, it's like 14 minutes left in any case, right?
And a battle interesting to take note of is the battle between Devin Martinez
Yes, this looks to stay
and
down
Carl
both sides,
Beckley.
okay? Just on the
The
contest.
loose head prop of Hamiltons being Devin Martinez, and then the tighter prop Carl Beckley. Thus far, Beckley hasn't made it easy for the experienced Martinez, backing
Guys, the
down
gap
on the
is big,
tight
eh?
head
The gap is
position of Hamiltons.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
A beautiful scrum by Hamiltons. As I was saying, that he has not made it easy for Martinez. Unfortunately, the prop forward going up in contact,
This side, reset.
gifting Villagers a penalty. And this, they will be looking through the boot of Joshua Fisagi for some much needed relief and positional play in the half of Hamilton, something that we have not seen in the last 10 minutes or so. Hamilton's really putting a lot of pressure on Villagers and putting them down within their own half. So Village will want to grab hold of this opportunity that they have.
I've got my cues, eh?
Omalua, the recipient, once again into the safe and secure hands of the lock forward in that line out, but beautiful counter-rucking by Hamiltons, making it very difficult for Villages and winning themselves a penalty in the process, the player not releasing on the ground. And Martinez just kind of getting himself off the hook through the penalty that he gave away in that scrum, winning the turnover ball. Certainly big upper legs, so once he's planted those feet in the ground, he's not being moved or being moved. Very difficult in the process to be moved. Now Hamilton's back in the half of Villages. See a lot of hands on the hips. Villages players being tested in every facet of the game. A lot of movement once again into the hands of Kotze. Quick ball down the line. Beautiful line run there by Lineout. Quick ball by the Harps, getting it there, playing quickly now. Hamilton's building a bit of momentum, and again, bit of inside stepping there by Weich. Hamilton certainly on the front foot now. Beautiful handling and interplay between forwards and backs alike, but Villages on the ball quickly, but in the process unfortunately not rolling away. Hamilton's with a quick tap now by Harps. Ball being spread. Bit of obstructional play there by Hamilton's, but the referee says no, play on. The defender was too far away. Harps with yet again just taking his time to play the back line, taken up by Kotze. Hard hits from Villages, but gaining valuable yards in contact. And one must say Harps is certainly a scrum half that takes his time to play and put his back line in a position, beautifully brought down there in contact position, showing good composure and understanding of law.
Still playing advantage for the tackle.
Still advantage for that tip tackle though. Beautiful inside pass, and Yasid Karim, the left wing, showing that he has handling skills to go with the pace. Taken up by Ninober, a name that we've mentioned a couple of times, loves the contact. Beautiful running line by the lock forward. It is Hanlu Kotze. In actual fact, that was Atkolile Alepeni. Seems like they switched jerseys, making it a bit more difficult for us as commentating team here, but still exciting. Zitzman trying to get the ball away in contact, indeed does find the lock forward Basson, and a couple of names that we've mentioned, the likes of the flank forwards Ninober and Basson, showing their intent to run with the ball.
Here, and there's been one or two also dangerous plays, guys throwing the ball down and all that. So can you just touch with him? 100% I'll check that, but I've got to watch.
Why are they watching an outside only?
As I said, I'll watch it, but from what I've seen from this play, please just touch the boys. I don't want to do any more if I'm down here.
Can we take a scrum, please?
Offside, sure. Scrum, guys. No, just got to pick it up.
Okay, referee giving them a warning there for too many penalties and warning them that the next one will be dealt with.
Gents, as I said to you at the beginning, you've got to show me going forward, league it. I don't want you guys standing up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also evident of the slow ball that Harps has been receiving. Villagers trying to slow down the ball and giving away too many penalties in their own half. So this a team warning.
Crouch. Bind.
Hamiltons with the upper hand in the scrums thus far. Again, solid foundation and solid scrum, getting the left shoulder. Unfortunately, the eighth man, Martins, breaking away against the flow. But Hamilton still in possession of the ball. Beautiful break in defense, beautiful inside pass. Combination play by the centre pair. And unfortunately, the ball just flung away, not going to hand, and shown a bit of frustration there by the players. But some beautiful interactive play between the centre pair, Scott and Weich there for Hamiltons, showing a lot of promise. And one would think that the coaches half-time would say that the players just should show composure. Half-time, of course, within 7 minutes from now. And like I said, Heinrich, a lot of
one
promise
play.
shown by
One
Hamiltons
try line,
once
no
they
problem,
have
yeah.
ball in hand,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
unfortunately just being over eager and trying to force
we
the
all do.
passes.
As we all do.
Yeah, unfortunately, that last pass from Marloeweg that didn't get to the hands of Ramiz Ali. If it wasn't
that was
to
a
the
nice
hands,
one, Gents. Yeah,
definitely a 5-pointer for Hamiltons.
Jeez, Gents.
One of the players just receiving some attention there.
Listen.
On the Villagers side, seems
First,
like it is
instance.
the fullback,
I'm worried about
Chadwin
Coach
Nicholas.
Cousins
He also received some attention earlier, so definitely a
not your
niggle
head.
that he's trying to play with. My advice would be to,
Please watch him.
rather
I'm
than
worried.
jeopardize your season, go off now, let this
Can he-
replacement come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But being an old player myself, you don't always want to leave the field. You want to add value and contribute to your team's game, especially with a huge historical game like this being a derby matchup between Villagers and Hamiltons. Looks like he has been replaced, and number 22, Michael Richardson, will replace the likes of Chadwin Nicholas.
Crouch.
Favorable field position for Hamiltons. They were dominant and are still dominant in the scrums as they put a lot of pressure on Villagers scrum. Popping up this time, the referee will ask for a restart in the scrum instead of awarding a penalty to Villagers. Previous scrum, we've seen that the referee has little tolerance with standing up in the contact. Also very nice to see the crowd here at Brookside. Always a intimidating field to play on, with the crowd being so close to the field.
Legs far down.
As we see a penalty being awarded by the referee to Hamiltons.
Legs. Yeah.
Seems like Hamilton's looking to find touch. Indeed they do. Setting up a line-out. This is where composure needs to be shown by the team of Hamiltons. Let's see if they can set up that drive, get some momentum on their side, and maybe add some much-needed points just to try and stretch their lead. Solid, safe front ball, as I said earlier. Now the ruck being set up, broken away there, trying to find the gap on the right-hand side down the touchline. A lot of forwards standing out. Let's see if another pick-up and drive by the flank forward, Dean Basson, trying to power his way over the try line. He is indeed over the try line. This time it is not Basson. Let's see who gets up from that try line. And it seems like it is the prop forward and loosehead Devin Martinez, the one scoring the try. We'll just make sure of that. It could also be Aubrey Kutsia. It seems like it indeed is the captain, Aubrey Kutsia, getting his name on the score sheet. Now two forwards taking Hamiltons into the lead, and indeed in the process extending their lead with 10 points with 3 minutes to go in this first half. Zitzman will, with a very similar kick from the first try being scored, will try and add 2 more points. And like I said, just extending the lead in front of halftime. And Heinrich, how important is it in a game like this to go into halftime break with a bit of a lead?
It is always nice to go into halftime, but you must always remember that the next 40 minutes is also going to be crucial, because both teams start afresh, and with the new guys coming, the subs coming on later in the game, the momentum can swing anytime.
Yes, again, Zitzman unsuccessful with the conversion kick. The scoreline stays 10-0 with 2.5 minutes left in this first half. And Village would like to score next if they are to stay in this matchup. Sounds strange to say after just the first half coming to a close. But Hamilton's a team that once they have momentum behind them, they can take the game completely away from you. And like I said, Village playing for a lot of pride in this matchup. They would like to settle the score after last year's defeat of 39-13. Hamilton showing that they want to stay in winning ways. Unfortunately, not being able to bring the ball down with him is the player of Hamilton's, gifting position back to Villages, and in the process also with the momentum, winning themselves a scrum there as well by the knock-on. Teams just making sure that everybody understands and know where the after-match festivities would be. Understandable in a highly tightly fought contest like this. Tempers are bound to flare. Villages backline
Crouch.
with a fairly bunched approach here, as we see the likes of the right winger Tanaka Bosha standing between the 5 and the 10 meter. Hamilton's putting a lot of pressure on the forwards, thus giving the backline not a good secure ball to play with, but beautiful defense by the outside centre from Hamilton's Wensley Scott. Indeed, the inside centre Scott. And the referee bringing and blowing his whistle for halftime. Stay with us if you have any plans to leave. This is a matchup that has shown a lot of promise. Hamilton's shown their intent, but Villagers not giving up at all. So join us for the second half here at Brookside between Villagers and Hamilton's for second half coming up.
Naturally brewed from our own fresh spring water, this beer embodies the greatness of the mountains of South Africa. At Saggy Stone, we take pride in our pure ingredients, our meticulous methods, and our quality products. Rocky River is a crisp, light, easy drinking beer, perfect with friends after a long, hard day. Saggy Stone, great mountain water, makes great beer.
Welcome back to the second half here at Brookside, home of Villagers Rugby. As immediately we see a couple of replacements being brought on for both teams. It seems like we have the likes of number 17, Nick Robeck, replacing Devon Martinez being replaced. So see number 20 on the field, Edrich Viljoen, as well as Mario Wilson taking the field. That's the replacements being brought on the side of Hamiltons.
Just give me a second.
On the side of Villagers, the only replacement I can see thus far
Thanks,
is the likes of the scrum half Joshua Fisagi that moved into the fly half position in place of Raiden Smith, and number 21
Have you guys
Robin
ready?
Damon being brought on the field.
Villagers.
Villagers sparing their replacements. Hamilton's wanting to give
ball in front,
some
yes.
more playing
ball
time.
in front.
We also see the likes of Andrew Gustafsson on the field in place of Vandre Norkier. So it seems on the side of Hamilton's both front rowers being replaced.
Unfortunately, not a great start there in front of the kicker. Not the way you want to start the second half, giving the ball back to your opposition.
300.
Yeah, especially if you are trying to claw your way back in this match, Heinrich. Currently the scoreline 10-0 in favor of Hamiltons.
Gallet just went.
Some new front rowers, so everybody just making sure about the calls and making sure that they find their
Crouch.
solid start in this matchup, being part of this historical rugby match between Hamiltons and Villagers. As we see another knee on the ground by the loose head prop of Hamiltons.
Going straight in. And your knee down, eh?
Therefore, the number one, the
That's
loose
what I'm saying.
head,
Your first knee, then you're
knee on
going
the
in.
ground, and unfortunately the penalty for Villagers.
Joshua Fisagi finding touch, putting his team, that's something that we haven't seen in the first half, into the 22 of Hamiltons. Villagers having started strongly in the first half and pinning down Hamiltons, but Hamilton showing good composure and constraint and fighting their way back in a positional battle, and in the process getting 2 tries, scoring 2 tries through their forward pack. As we see now, Villagers within the 22 of Hamiltons. Unfortunately not being able to secure ball in the line out, giving position to Hamiltons.
Wait, wait.
Onto the boot of Zitzman, but not finding the touchline. Beautiful run by right winger Tanaka Bosha, getting a lot of yards in this. Now the loose head prop Ibrahim Davids dropping the shoulder. Damon playing right on the field now.
Just a knock.
Advantage to Villagers from the side, hands in the ruck. Beautiful defense trying to stop that movement in its tracks is the inside center Marluweg.
No!
Ball just popping out
Ball wasn't
on
out
the
also.
side, but advantage was played to
was
Villagers.
For offside there into Villagers' favour. Let's see what they are trying to do. He is pointing at post, and they will try and get back into the game and get the points on the scoreboard.
Crucial decision, like you said, Heinrich, pointing to the poles. just trying to get on the scoreboard and start building momentum as we hear the crowd starting to get in on the action here at Brookside, home of Villagers. The responsibility falling on Visagi's shoulder to get his team on the scoreboard. Unfortunately pulling it to the right. Scoreline stays at 10-0 in favour of the visitors, Hamilton.
Yeah, unfortunately, both kickers didn't pack in their boots to kick at poles today, but at the end of the day, you also have to score the tries.
As we see Zitzman with a high restart, straight down the throat of Damon, having difficulty to control and secure the ball.
Tackle.
Hamilton's doing extremely well to try and keep that ball off the ground. Beautiful running line by the 8th man. It is Leleni Bosokwe, a name we haven't mentioned a lot during the first half, but showing that he wants to get in on the action during this second half. Villagers now with a beautiful pick up and drive through the lock forward. Omalua, but unfortunately knocking on the ball in the process, but Hamilton's just throwing away the ball.
I said over because it's over, man.
Fortunately, ball not going to hand, and the referee called advantage over, as he's seen more than enough space for Hamiltons to attack, and they couldn't use that space. So line out there for Villagers to see if they can get front foot position and set up the driving ball.
Yeah, like you said, Heinrich, all is not lost. Villagers still find themselves in the half of Hamilton's. So let's see if they can secure this ball. Omalua being the recipient of the majority of the lineouts. Now in this time, it is Ryan Flores coming down with the ball. But an interception by the number 22, Mario Wilson, pinning down his ears. But back on the field is the fullback, Chadwin Nichols. Beautiful interplay by backs and forwards alike, giving them another 5 pointers through Edrich Viljoen. And the red-headed player certainly elated with that 5 points.
Brilliant interplay there between the backs. The number 22, Mario Wilson, making the break and getting the Villagers on the back foot. And also getting that pass inside to Marlo Weig that got the last hand ball away to the try scorer, Edrich Viljoen.
Yeah, we've seen some beautiful support play by Hamiltons. And like you said, it shows how quickly this game can turn. Villagers found themselves in the half of Hamiltons, but through interception by Mario Wilson. Again, Villagers just not seeming to get off the mark. Also seen a replacement. Henku Martinez, the 8th man of Hamiltons, has been replaced now by none other than try scorer Edrich Viljoen.
And again, unfortunately, the kick not going over, and the score will stay 15-0 in Hammy's favour.
8 minutes already passed in the second half. Village will need to get their hands on ball and stay in possession. Cool, calm, collective heads is what is needed now for this village team if they are to get back in this match. As we see the outside centre, Nduru restarting this matchup, beautifully taken, but unfortunately not being able to keep their hands on the ball. Village will need a solid scrum here, Heinrich, if they are to get some sort of promising momentum from this match.
Yeah, unfortunately they've been in this position a couple of times already, but they couldn't get the ball through the hands, and unforced errors that crept in every time, and the ball was turned over, like in the previous line-out where the ball was handed over to Hamiltons and the try was scored from there.
Set!
Hamilton's continuing to dominate in the scrums. And throughout the first half, this is what we've seen. Like you said, Heinrich, a lot of pressure being put on the forwards of Villagers, thus creating bad ball or slow ball to the backs, and Villagers backline not being able to find their rhythm. And one wonders whether the early replacement of the injured fly half of Villagers, Raiden Smith, had anything to do with this. As we see number 18, Nathan Gibaru, also in the back line for Villagers. And a quick ball, Heinrich, coming from that scrum. Villagers definitely learning throughout this matchup when they realize that they're being placed under enormous pressure. But through beautiful play to the ball, Hamilton's turned over, getting a penalty in the process.
Great defense, and the first man in quickly over the ball and holding on the ground for Villagers.
But Heinrich Zitzman not getting touchline or finding touchline. And now Nicholas playing around with the visitors, but eventually deciding that he will kick. Now the defensive line in 6s and 7s for Villagers with a big handoff by the lock forward. Atolile Apellini, beautiful interplay by the forwards into the hands of one of the try scorers, number 20, Edrich Viljoen, unfortunately in the contact, just knocking it on. Still advantage by two Hamiltons in the process, but it just shows you that Hamiltons are in the mood to run.
What a great break there by the two locks, supporting each other, and the new man Edrich Viljoen giving support there. Unfortunately, couldn't get the ball over the try line, seeing that Villagers' defense was just there in time. And at the end of the day, the knock-on from Villagers giving the ball back to Hamilton's, trying to get over on the front foot there 5 meters from the try line.
Yeah, down on the touchline here closest to us. We also see a couple of replacements warming up. The number 20, Simpiwe Makuba, as well as the number 16, Alvin Makwaza, getting ready to take the field. But for now, Hamilton's in possession. Unfortunately, Zitzman with fingertips to ball. Referee rules that it has not been a knock-on into the hands of the left winger. The fullback with a sneaky little goose step there, glimpses of a goose step. But Villagers in the process with a beautiful counter-rucking, making it very difficult for Hamilton's. Hamilton's backline is non-existent, bunching up in the midfield. Now the outside centre, Weich, having to break back into defence just to give his team time to recoup their attacking lineouts, getting a penalty in the process. Quick tap and go by the scrum of Harps. Beautiful running into contact by the flank forward Ninaber. Hamilton's over the line for yet another 5-pointers through the replacement prop Nick Robeck. And the replacements definitely having an impact, and they say in the second half.
A quick ball with the two flankers also involved, giving the ball to the prop forward that's going over for the 5-pointer.
And as Village regroup behind the poles, we also see the likes of replacements coming on the field. As I said, Alvin taking the field, number 16, as well as number 20, Simpiwe. And as we also see Chadwin Nicholas, the fullback, now finally taken off the field, having been replaced earlier with an injury, but this not being a league game, he was allowed back on the field. But now finally retiring in this matchup.
Thanks.
We also see the loose head prop, Ibrahim Davids, coming off the field. .26 minutes left in this matchup. Hamilton's leading 20-0. And Heinrich, this game still, like I said, 26 minutes left, but slowly but surely starting to get away from Villagers. They need to score next if they are to still stay in this matchup.
Right touch for the knock.
They're a team that will never give up with a never die attitude. Beautiful running line by the hooker, Dion Lawrence, as he's brought down to ground in 5 meters. Hamilton's illegally stealing the ball in the ground, but again, Villagers showing a lot of promise once they have ball in hand. But a beautiful break by Dion Lawrence shows you that a hooker and a tight forward also can run beautiful lines like a beautifully trained and seasoned center, as the ball is being taken up by Alvin. Now Village in a favorable position to get their first points in this matchup. The tight head prop, Kyle Beckley, borrowing and powering his way forward.
You're off, really.
Hamilton's pleading to the referee that he's holding on, but they are not rolling away in the process. Villagers with some momentum behind them now. One would love to see a quick tap and go as they have numbers down the left-hand side. The replacement scrum of Damon taking his time in the process, allowing Hamiltons to just settle on defense. Beautiful tackle by the replacement, number 22, Mario Wilson, knocking the ball out of the hands of the Villagers team. And this seems to be the story of the day for Villagers. Unfortunately, just being too eager, but also some beautiful defensive work from Hamiltons.
Again, unfortunately, that passes that the ball doesn't stick to the hands. As you can see, the crowd is getting involved, and Villagers is trying to fight back into this game. But 20-0 behind, and just over 20 minutes left. You needs to start getting your points and start attacking again.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on the coaching staff of the Village team as well. They want their team to get on the scoreboard, just take a bit of pressure off themselves. Hard running into contact by Wilson. Since he came on the field, he has been a nuisance for the defensive lines and structures of Villagers, getting his team a penalty in the process. Villagers just not rolling away. On the side of Hamilton's, Ross Taylor, number 19, also warming up down the touchline here. He'll probably take the field with this line out. Beautiful kick by Zitzman. And as you said, Heinrich, unfortunately both these two kickers struggling to find the conversion kicks and penalty kicks, and scoreboard pressure starting to take its toll on the team of Village as well.
Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize with the points, and Villagers missing that crucial penalty that could have get them back into the game. And after that, Hamilton's went to score again, so pressure is mounting up on them.
Sorry, man.
Trying to kick the ball through, but just finding the hands of the Village team, and basically try to intercept that ball was the outside centre, Ronald Ndura.
Come, we're not done.
But unfortunately, Village not getting off the mark, struggling to put up and put together some phases. And it seems like the scoreboard pressure, as well as the pressure from the defensive structures from Hamilton's, is proving to make it a long, difficult day at the office for this Village team.
Crouch. Bind.
The Village's supporters definitely trying to spur their team on, to encourage them. Early breakaway there by the flank forward of Village, gifting a penalty to Hamilton's. And the scrum half, Harps, with a quick kick. He's trying to lift the tempo and intensity of this second half with 22 minutes left in this game. 20-0 in favour of the visitors, Hamiltons.
Hamiltons with nothing to lose, as they have a comfortable lead at the moment, trying to speed up the game and putting more pressure on Villagers, which might open up also the game a bit at the end of the day.
Some hard-hitting defense from Villagers, but silly play there by the 8th man of Villagers. And getting a yellow card is indeed the captain and flank forward Vincent de Munich. Evidence of the frustration from the captain. Just trying something to get their hands on the ball. He'll know of better. But Harps again trying to find touchline. Indeed does get and find the touchline, taking play 5 meters. Or well, we'll say 10 meters from the try line of Villagers, as we see one of the Hamilton's player receiving some attention.
6 man. 6 man. 6.
Like you said, Heinrich, Hamilton's nothing to lose now. They'll try and open up and this game and speed up and lift the tempo and intensity of this game. And this might just play in favor of Villagers as well. We've seen a couple of players in the back line of the Villagers wanting that ball.
It's set! That's a more!
As we see another ruck being set up, more actually being set up by Hamilton's.
There he is. Nice set!
Making it very difficult for Village defensive lines to pick up and drive by replacement prop.
Two, you're off! You're off!
Big clean out by Hamilton's. Zitzman with a wild pass, beautiful pass, but almost intercepted by the left winger, Shaheen Hendricks, in actual fact the right winger, Tanaka Bosha. That would have been sensational. And what a way to get on the scoreboard for Villagers had that interception come off.
Yeah, that's a big pity there, because he would have been dashing with nobody on his back over that try line. Unfortunately, ball didn't go into his hands.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Hamilton's continue to show dominance in the tight phase, and the scrum, beautiful running line by the outside centre. Weich getting over the try line for yet 5 more points. Hamilton's elated, and what a beautiful running line by the outside centre. Marlo Weich adding his name to the score sheet as well.
Yeah, that just shows you speed and strength is always going to be crucial in getting you over the advantage line. With the running line of Marlo Weich there, providing a good running opportunity and preventing the Villagers' defense from getting to him.
And the cavalry is called upon, as we see number 17, Marvin Yars, also taking the field for the team of Villagers, replacing the tight head prop Carl Beckley. He certainly put a fight up against the likes of Devin Martinez. And finally, the first conversion kick in this matchup by the flyer of Christian Zitzman, taking the scoreline to 27-0. Heinrich, this is a pre-season friendly, but a classic clash nonetheless, and Villagers playing for pride, and one would like to see them just starting to try things now. They've got nothing to lose. Hamilton's with a healthy lead, and one would like to see Villagers just playing ball once they manage to get their hands on the ball.
Hamilton's running from their own 22 now, trying to get Villagers to set into the tackling. With the prop running and making a straight line there.
Through the back door, showing some skills, is Vandrei Norkia, being brought back on the field. He wants to run with the ball now as well. And we've seen throughout the day some beautiful interplay between the forwards and the backs from the team of Hamilton's. And it's again the outside centre, beautiful interplay, but unfortunately just getting fingertips and not being able to pick up the pass there. But we now see some passes being thrown away from the Hamiltons team, and they are certainly trying to lift the tempo of this matchup, trying to take away and put away the game. That is the intent of this Hamiltons team right now.
Yeah, some of the fresh legs onto the field. Hopefully for Villagers, they will start to make a change for them and keep the score to a minimum and maybe get some points on the board for themselves. But at this moment, their defense has to be solid, as Hamiltons like to throw the ball around and keeping on the back foot.
Crouch. Set. Walking right around. Walking right around.
Quick tap and go by scrum half Joshua Fisagi with a kick through, but unfortunately that didn't work out for him, as Hamiltons is back in possession of the ball in their own 22.
Out.
Running back in contact is the replacement prop, number 17, Nick Robeck, as we see Harps putting boot to ball, but not finding touchline, and the number 14 left winger Tanaka Bosha has shown that he wants to be part of the action with some beautiful play there by the right winger. Now Fisagi in position, beautiful step, but he should have passed in finally through beautiful running play by the man himself, Bosha, that started that move. It is the scrum of Joshua Fisagi giving Villagers their first points of the evening, and he almost botched that by not passing, but luckily his pace and momentum took him over the try line, gifting Villagers their first 5 points. But one has to give credit to the right winger Tanaka Bosha, number 14 of Villagers, starting that break.
Yeah, great running there by the number 14 Tanaka Bosha. Had the support of his scrum half, which almost let that try slip away, as he didn't find his support runner with him, but gladly for him, he got the fend off and he went over. And the conversion is also there by the number 13 Ronald Ndidura, and the score will creep up to 27 points to 7 for Hamiltons.
And all of a sudden, Heinrich, there's electricity in the field and around the field with the Village supporters. Is this the start of a beautiful comeback by the home team Villagers?
Yeah, well, Mike, with 13 minutes left, anything can happen. And 27-7, 2 quick tries, and they're back into the game.
Omalua now in possession of the ball. And all of a sudden, the replacement scrum half, number 21, Robin Damon of Village, also became more vocal. Unfortunately, just from the side of the boot by left winger Shaheen Hendricks, giving position back to the team of Hamiltons, and that is not what they would have wanted. Numbers down the left-hand side for Hamiltons. Weich trying to get away the ball in contact. Zitzman now in position, being brought down.
Release!
27 meters or so away outside from their try line. Beautiful inter-passing play by Hamilton. It is the fullback, and back into the hands of number 20, Edrich Viljoen. Ever since he came on the field, he wanted to play ball, and it is the big replacement forward, Arnold Gustafsson, with yet another 5 points for the team of Hamiltons. And Heinrich, some beautiful inter-passing play and support running by the team of Hamiltons.
Yes, definitely good interplay there between the backs and the forwards, setting up that ball for the try scorer, and that's what Villagers didn't need now. Just after they scored the first try in the game, and they will have to restart from catching up.
Like you said, again the crowd has been silenced here at Brookside by a quick hit back by the team of Hamiltons, adding 5 more points to their score sheet. And one must congratulate and mention the name of the number 20, Edrich Viljoen. Ever since he came on the field, he lit it up.
Yeah, what impact from the number 20 Eerdrich Viljoen. He's everywhere at this moment. The conversion again just drifting wide, and the score will stay 32-7 in the favor of Hamiltons with just over 12 minutes remaining.
As we see the village captain, number 6, Vincent de Munich, back on the field after serving his 10 minutes in the sin bin. Ronald Ndua getting ready to restart after his team has just given away 5 points through some beautiful play by Hamiltons. Unfortunately, the kick not going the full 10 meters. Hamiltons immediately going to their strength, deciding and opting to go for the scrum. And now Hamiltons, we've seen Christian Zitzman. He's a flyer that likes to give his backline some pace or space to move in. So this being in the middle of the field, we immediately see number 22, Mario Wilson, heading to his forwards, just making sure that they know exactly which shoulder to secure and to wheel the scrum to give him a possible opportunity to attack this defensive lines of Villagers.
Yeah, Hamilton's in a very good position, middle of the field, can go both sides, setting a backline into great space there.
And a big left shoulder, but again Hamilton's deciding to go against the wheel of the scrum, and Weich attacking the defensive lines, but some beautiful defense by Omalua, the look forward of Villagers, creating turnover ball for Villagers.
Oh, guys, back to scrum cap.
Ball being taken up, running hard into contact is the 8th man of Villagers, Busakwe. Now Damon, unfortunately, with a terrible kick, putting his team under enormous pressure, but the right winger, Bosha, just securing that ball for his team, showing once again that a bad kick can turn out good if support is put or on the kick. Now Villagers trying something, but unfortunately Hamilton's coming away with it. The referee will bring them back, however.
Can't kick the ball in the ruck, guys.
It is number 18 on the field, Nathan Giburu, that he tried something, and that's what I said earlier. Villagers might as well just try something, throw everything at it. They've got nothing to lose, currently trailing 32-7 with 8 minutes remaining in this matchup.
Great touch find by Villagers, setting up the line out for them. Hopefully they can get front football from this. But at this moment the match is all gone out of their hands and they can just play for pride now.
Yes, Heinrich, it seems like Hamiltons will still be the victorious team in this classic clash and historical battle between Villagers and Hamiltons, as we see Hamiltons immediately running out of their own half now. Some beautiful passing skills showcased by the backline of Hamiltons, but through some pressing defensive lines, Villagers just take them across field. No meters gained and not getting over the advantage line, but Hamiltons won't be too worried about that.
Yeah, like that. Guys, just wait. I've got a sub here. Sub.
It's the lock forward, Orion Flores, being replaced.
Wait.
Beautiful throw in by the reserve and replacement hooker, making sure that he finds his jumper. Damon taking his time, finding the replacement that just made his way onto the field. Immediately getting straight into action. Damon just peeking over the ruck to see if there's some space behind the defensive lines of Hamiltons. The captain, the Munich, getting back in action as well. Trying to get over the advantage line. Hard running into contact is Jars. Getting over the advantage line, but some counter ruck by Hamiltons, making it difficult for the village team now.
Out now. There we go. No. I don't want side.
Playing down the left-hand side. It's Boscha once again trying to create something out of a bad ball that he received. De Munich now finding the replacement player, Simpiwe. Villagers having a difficult time to get over the advantage line through the hard running into contact by the village forwards. One has to think that the ball at some point needs to be played to the back line. Hamilton's read that movement and stopped it in its tracks. Not getting over the advantage line. Hamilton's also not releasing. Damon with a quick pass, a tap and go into the hands of Boscha, a player that showed a lot of promise throughout this game, but it's again number 20 making it difficult. A name that we've mentioned a couple of times since he's came on the field. It is Edrich Viljoen, number 20 of Hamilton's. But Villagers finally setting up phases, keeping the ball, but through beautiful defense, the ball being knocked out of contact into the hands of Hamiltons, giving them position once again. The referee will bring them back for the first knock-on. Hamilton's continuing to put in the big defense.
Yeah, a bit scrappy play there from both teams. Ball being loose and nobody could pick it up, and unfortunately knock-on first from Villagers, and Hamiltons couldn't use that to counter-attack. But at this time of the match, I think Hamiltons will be more than happy just to see this last 5 minutes out and go back to their home field and lifting the spirits for the season.
Yeah? Can I just start first and then I'll move?
The standout players, and one of the positive points for Villagers today is the right winger Tanaka Boscha, number 14 of Villagers. He's put up his hand and showed that he is willing to fight till the end to try and do anything to get his team back in this game. And through beautiful play and break, he put away his number 9 Joshua Fusagi, who gave Villagers their first points for the day, but in the process also getting injured and having to leave the field. And again, the story of the day, Hamilton's just getting away with that final call.
5 man. Lance the middle.
Unfortunately, Villagers pulling out of the contest there at the scrum, and the penalty ends in going there to Hamiltons, which finds the touch line on the middle of the field.
All running lines by the back line of Hamiltons, but unfortunately the pass not coming off. That would have certainly seen Mario Wilson with a clean pair of heels running in yet another try for Hamiltons, but unfortunately the pass just not coming off. Spirits is high, the players are in good energy, and like you said, Heinrich, this is certainly showing a lot of promise for the Hamiltons team for this coming season.
White ball. Look. 200 plus.
Blast this, eh?
Steady.
Straight boys.
Just go left of the mark, gents. Just go left of the mark. There you go. Crouch.
Let's go, boys.
Bind. Set.
Steady! Steady! Steady!
Hamiltons continue their dominance in the scrum, making it extremely difficult for the village forward pack. Villagers trying to set up phases and try and create something by breaking this defensive structure of Hamilton's. Beautiful dummy shown, created that break in defensive line, but again the handling errors from Villagers preventing them from scoring.
No advantage.
And like I said earlier, now the players just making sure that every single player knows exactly where to go to after this match for the after-match festivities. But again, this is the story of the day for the team of Villagers, just not getting that final pass away. They've shown a lot of promise at some stages throughout this match. And one must say that Villagers will be a thorn in a lot of teams' sides. The scoreline is not evident of this team and how they can play and perform.
Bind. Set.
Tight hit for Villagers, but unfortunately in the process
But they got to step.
just being bundled and overpowered by the scrums of the team of Hamilton's forwards.
Pardon?
Zietman looking up the touchline, taking play back into the half of Villagers.
Yeah, last play, gents. Yeah, last play.
Hamilton's going to the back, but unfortunately the throw not in straight.
Line out. Line out, gents. Sorry. That, guys.
The village line up, just bunching to the front. Omalua yet again the recipient of that call, but Hamilton's doing extremely well to get in front of the player and jumper.
No, leave it, leave it.
Some beautiful strong ruck there by Villagers and some beautiful handling by the Hamilton's forwards. Breaking back into the field is the 8th man. It is Enrico Martins. The ball now needs to be spread out wide as there's numbers. Wilson running in yet another 5 points for his team's scoreline to continue to be added. And some of the players pleading to the referee that there was some obstruction in one of the phases earlier. But the referee allowing the try, having ruled that the defense was too far away. The scoreline now 37-7 in favor of the visitors.
Our Villagers feeling a bit aggrieved there, but nothing you could do to stop Mario Wilson there from
More to left, more to left.
going over the try line. Running with speed and strength at the right angles, running lines perfect, and they're sealing this game with a perfect try in the left-hand corner.
Yeah, and that try will also take us to full time with just the conversion to come.
Nah.
Unfortunately, the conversion kick unsuccessful. The score thus stays at 37-7 in favor of the visitors, Hamiltons. That brings us to the end of this historical classic battle between two of the oldest clubs in South African club rugby, Villages against Hamiltons. And Hamiltons stay on winning ways between these two teams as we're getting ready to head down to the field for some touchline interviews by Heinrich. Thank you very much for joining us on this tremendous day of rugby. We've seen a lot of tries scored. We've seen some beautiful defensive structures, some beautiful running rugby here at Brookside. And next year, these two teams will meet each other for this historical derby match in Sea Point at Hamilton's home field. But these two teams, of course, will meet each other later this year in the season. And what a season it is starting to be if we go according to the friendlies that we've witnessed throughout this year. From my side, thank you very much as we get ready to head down to the touchline with Heinrich for some post-match interviews.
Naturally brewed from our own fresh spring water, this beer embodies the greatness of the mountains of South Africa. At Saggy Stone, we take pride in our pure ingredients, our meticulous methods, and our quality products. Rocky River is a crisp, light, easy drinking beer, perfect with friends after a long, hard day. Saggy Stone, great mountain water, makes great beer. Naturally brewed from our own fresh spring water, this beer embodies the greatness of the mountains of South Africa. At Saggy Stone, we take pride in our pure ingredients, our meticulous methods, and our quality products. Rocky River is a crisp, light, easy drinking beer, perfect with friends after a long, hard day. Saggy Stone, great mountain water, makes great beer.
You can flip it on your toe or whatever. Okay. Whatever is gonna. Sorry, you said your name? Gareth. Gareth. Coach Gareth.
Yes.
Not the result you wanted.
No, definitely
Still
not.
the season's start of the season next week. What do you think will need to change before the season kicks off next week?
So look, for us today, a lot of mistakes, simple mistakes that we made today. So for us, it's about fixing those mistakes, getting a bit more accuracy. I was quite happy with our set piece in terms of our lineouts in the first half and second half because we were quite competitive on our ball and their ball. But obviously scrums we fell off a little bit, so we've got a bit of work to do on the set piece. And then accuracy when we do have ball in hand and we do break the line, about finishing the opportunities that we have.
We saw that there's a few players that got into the game, but the combinations didn't like to link a bit.
Correct, yeah.
So the interplay was not there always, and that maybe put you on the back foot.
100%. Look, we lost our fly half in the first 10 minutes. He pulled his hamstring, which definitely didn't help, so we had to move our 9 to 10 and bring on our replacement 9, and that kind of put a spanner in the works because that's not the team we've been training with. So yeah, that definitely didn't help. So I hope that if we had been able to keep our 10 on the field for longer, it would have made a difference. But yeah, absolutely, there's a lot of accuracy that needs to come into what we do.
Last question before we leave, and you can join in there. A lot of injuries, or are you happy with the squad that you have for the season?
We're always looking for players, as always, but we've got a few injuries at the moment, and we've also got quite a few of our starting players that are with the Zimbabwean Sables team. So yeah, that doesn't help. We were missing out 4 backroom players tonight because of that. So we're hoping to get them back soon, and then we can hopefully have an even more competitive team.
Coach, but all the best for the season, and I hope to see you soon. See you later during the season.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much. Cheers, thanks, mate.
Heads up, gents. Well played. We're only going to go forward from here. So, got the mic going. And gents, yeah, all I can say, I just want to wish you on another great victory for the derby, and hopefully we can pitch it back next year. All the best, guys. There you go.
Easy lus vir daai ene nie. Coach Phil, wel dan met die uitslag vandag. Is dit waarna julle gekyk het of het julle probeer om die laaste kombinasies reg te kry vir die seisoen wat voorlê?
Man, om eerlikwaar vir jou te wees, ek dink ons het hierna toe gekom en gedink het gaan dieselfde idee wees as laasweek of kom ons noem dit laas jaar. Baie goed wat Villagers vir ons opgedes het die vandag. Ons het gedink dit gaan makliker wees. As ons nou maar aan verskonings kan dink, ons het oor 10 dae gehad. Ons het laasweek Vrydag Helderberg gespeel. Ons het Woensdag Maties gespeel en vandag Derbydag. Definitief deel van ons kombinasies. Ons het ek weet nie seker maar by elke klub dieselfde ding. Besering speel 'n groot rol, want ek dink dit is wat ons gaan kry die seisoen. Ouens is kort van rugby, maar wat 'n wonderlike geleentheid om hier te kan wees in 'n Derbydag weer vandag.
Ja, definitief soos jy sê, julle het groot wedstryd agter die rug. Beserings wat ook ingetree het al hierdie seisoen. Paar jong manne wat hand opgesteek het. As ons ook kyk na van die 120 spelers, die flankie wat opgekom het, wat 'n briljante game gehad het. Dink julle is waar julle wil wees voor die afskop volgende week, of is daar nog goed waar julle kan skaaf?
Man, daar's definitief, jy gaan elke keer gaan jy moet skaaf. Jy noem nou van die 120 Roy's wat opgekom het. Ons het 3 eerste span first choice locks wat afgelope 3 weke seë gekry het. Hom in die diepkant ingegooi en ek dink ek het nou net vir hom gesê, luister jy is hier om te bly. Hy het sy hand opgesteek. Jy moet onthou, dis nuwe ouens wat ons bymekaar groep. En die dag het gaan oor kombinasies. Op die oomblik tik ons die regte bokse. Ja, volgende week is nog 'n boks wat getik moet word. En die grootte gaan wees Derbel.
Definitief, dit is altyd belangrik om 'n eerste wedstryd van die seisoen af van die liga op 'n goeie voet af te skop. Dit is altyd moeilik, veral soos jy sê met beserings, maar tog bou dit die momentum vir die volgende paar games in die seisoen.
Ja, kyk hierso, dit gaan alles gaan oor momentum. Weereens die ouens het 2 jaar laas non-contesting rugby gespeel. Ek praat van hulle speel 2 games aan COVID, 'n game weer hier en daar, maar op die oomblik het ons vir die eerste keer nou in 2 jaar het ons nou 4-5 games in 'n ry gespeel. Wat goed vir ons is, maar jy kan ook sien dis quads, dis calves, dis klein niggles wat op die oomblik vir ons wat vir ons kos, maar ons diepte is goed. Die nommers lyk goed by die klub, so ja, so far so good.
Coach, baie sterkte vir die toekoms en vir die seisoen wat voorlê. Hoop om julle later in die seisoen weer te sien en die game uit te kan sy vir die publiek daar buite en saam kan klub rugby in die Kaap groei en hopelik Hamiltons en mag hulle nog vir 100 jaar suksesvol wees.
Baie dankie. Ja. Ons wil graag ook net vir julle vir Villagers ook sê baie dankie vir die dag. Ek dink baie goed georganiseer. En ja, obviously ek dink ouens wat hier na julle toe kom gaan moet bietjie speel. Jy kan 'n groot verandering julle sien as obviously nuwe coaches wat julle het, spelers wat hier is. So ja, sterkte vir julle ook vir die seisoen vorentoe.
Baie dankie. Mooi dag verder.
Dankie man.
Ons sien julle later in die seisoen weer. And that's a wrap van Cape Rugby Club hier van Villagers, Brookside. Interessante wedstryd wat plaasgevind het hierso tussen Hamiltons en Villagers, 2 van die oudste klubs in die land. op die einde van die dag Hamiltons wat net te sterk was vir Villagers en hardloop weg met hierdie wedstryd met 'n telling van 37 punte teenoor 7. Van my kant af, Heinrich Gous en van my kollega Mike. Weer eens sien vir julle die volgende weke wat kom, wanneer Klub Rugby se liga afskop en hopelik kan julle ons aansluit by ons en Klub Rugby geniet. Voorspoed vir die week.
Naturally brewed from our own fresh spring water, this beer embodies the greatness of the mountains of South Africa. At Saggy Stone, we take pride in our pure ingredients, our meticulous methods, and our quality products. Rocky River is a crisp, light, easy drinking beer, perfect with friends after a long, hard day. Saggy Stone, great mountain water makes great beer.